Newhall was originally Newhall Vineyards. It's now Newhall Wine Estate, which I think can tell you quite a lot about the progression of the business. So Newhall Vineyards was established in 1969 by the Greenwood family, and the Greenwood family still run the business to this day, led by Chris and Becki Trembath.
So we obviously took over about 10 years ago, and everything was here, it was all working, but it was all a bit stuck, if that makes sense. They had a system and it worked. So we worked really hard to kind of like build it up and kind of become more modern. Yeah. Social media was a big thing for us. So we've done quite a lot with all our social media, the website, rebranding, it's such a competitive market. You've got to be on it. You've got to be up with everybody else. So we are lucky we've got the history, we've got stories, which a lot of new places haven't got.
Up on the Church Hill, in our village of Purley, there's All Saints Church, where the monks planted vines in the 12th century. And in fact, the vines produced grapes that were used to produce wine for the sealing of the Magna Carta. Second generation thought, let's roll with this idea. So he went off to Alsace, Germany, to learn a bit more about viticulture and winemaking. And 1969, the first grapes were planted. Over the past 5 decades, we've planted continuously. And now we're up to 18 different grape varieties. So it's very, very cool. When you drive into Newhall, you'll see some of the earliest, most popular varieties in the 70s, which would have been quite aromatic German varieties. Our latest addition are peewee varieties, which are very new, fungus-resistant, sustainable vines. So we've really got quite an eclectic mix of different grapes. Yeah. And we're now up to 120 acres of vineyards, with about 30 acres that we've got our eye on left to plant. It has been a journey, and it has been a fascinating one. My background's in viticulture and winemaking. Over the last 10 years, I have learned so much about, as you say, brand identity. We've had to remarket Newhall from a premium grape growing vineyard to a premium winemaking estate. And that has been amazing. I've learned a lot commercially about selling wine, profits, margins. It's branding, as you say, building relationships, getting Newhall on the map. We've got competition now. We've got friendly competition, but nationally it's a growing market. So we've had to get Newhall on the map, but also we want to get the Crouch Valley on the map, and we want to get England on the map internationally.
It's a juggling act when you've got every different area of the business to keep on top of everything. And that's kind of where Wine Hub has helped a lot for us, because we were quite stuck with paper, a lot of paperwork, a lot of notes, a lot of clipboards, and we needed a system that we could actually have it where everybody could see it easily, rather than one clipboard, and if someone puts it down, you've lost it. It was tough. So I looked at various different stock management systems, but because we're quite unique in that we only produce our own produce, we did various demos with different companies, but a lot of them were either very warehouse focused, not really to do with the sales. They were all about warehouse and stock control, or they were sales systems. So we did a lot of different demos, we did a lot of Googling, a lot of speaking to people, and it's only through Edge that we sort of found Wine Hub. And it was a cost factor as well. A lot of them were they were quite cheap, but weren't ever going to fulfill. We'd have to have 2 or 3 different systems, or we would have to pay a lot, but we wouldn't use half the features that were available. So yeah, it was a lot of time, a lot of talking to people, Googling, demos, online demos. It was quite a lot of time spent trying to find what would work, but we didn't want to implement anything unless we knew it would help us.
We found Wine Hub because it's an all-stop shop for us. It's got great stock management. Obviously now we're making a lot more wine. We've got a lot more stock to keep track of. So it was stock control is one brilliant aspect of Wine Hub. The next obvious step is it's helping Becki, our general manager, who looks after all the finances, keep track of every sale, keep I can look back at every client, what they bought in which period of time before this was all done in a long-winded way. And obviously with wine, there's quite a lot of complexity around alcohol duty. So this records everything. So it helps us with every aspect of a wine sale transaction.
Traceability is really important, so we can see where everything is and we can see who's done what. So when we started, our team was about 5 people. We're now up to nearly 20. So a lot of those are on the vineyard, so they don't kind of come into the commercial side of things, but it's making sure that we've got a warehouse manager now, which we never used to have. That used to be us kind of doing that side of things as well. So it's a way, making sure we can communicate. Communication is really important, to know what's been done, what hasn't been done, where it's been done. So yeah, we've tried to kind of streamline as much as we can without having to constantly go and check in with people, and that's where Wine Hub's really helped us in a way, because we can, James in the warehouse can tick things off or make notes, and then when we go on the order we can see them, and it has, yeah, it's changed the way we work quite a lot.
Yeah, from the very beginning that somebody orders a bottle of wine till the minute it leaves, till the minute we need to pay the duty on it, it's completely traceable, which is brilliant.
I think I'm the only one that actually uses my phone to do it. Most people, we've got it on the computers, but we've got it so that every time anyone logs onto their computer and they go on the internet, it's not the first page, that it's always on a tab that's open. And James, the warehouse manager, he's got a tablet that he can walk around with. But it has worked, because we've now got into the habit. It's taken a while, but there's now a habit of, as soon as anyone collects, you go straight back and you tick it off before, and it's quite a quick process. If it's open and logged in, you literally just press the button and it's done.
It saves time 100%, because you can dip in and out. That's the difference with Wine Hub. So I enjoy my evening sitting before I finish and just making sure everything's been signed off. It's easy for me to look at Wine Hub at all the orders that have come through that day, and to see, and just to check, make sure we've signed everything off that's been collected, that's been invoiced. That can all be done quickly. And I could do that at home. I could work from home and do the same thing. So yes, it saved a huge amount of time. I think the biggest amount of time for us is the stock taking. I think you've still got to do the stock taking, obviously, but we can compare straight away in real time with what was being sold. That's the difference. It can be done in real time. So I can literally look every 10 minutes at the bottles that have left stock take. Whereas otherwise, if you do just your monthly stock takes, you can only see from one month to another. Whereas I could literally see, if it was English Wine Week, I could see what a sale on a Monday during the English Wine Week looked like, rather than a random Monday. Just see that straight away.
I do find myself looking every time I process an order, just to see what that margin is. And I found it really helpful. So previously we used to download the invoices, sort through them, then we'd have to deduct the VAT, deduct the duty, and it was all spreadsheets and formulas, which are there was always a mistake somewhere we have to go back and rectify. So although we don't use the margins as much, the reports have been really useful to us. So just being able to download what you've sold in that month, who to, and the sort of the net price, the ex duty, ex VAT, has saved me a lot of time. And yeah, we're making a point now as well. When we started putting the products on, we always forgot to put the cost price on. So we've now found out how we can go back and rectify that. So now we're making a point of doing it. So we're building up the data. So when we can get to the point where we can really analyse it, it's all going to be there, ready to go. And we found the internal notes feature really handy. So if there's anything slightly off with an order, or someone's changed it, or they've added an extra bit, so say we finalised an order and then they ring up, or they turn up and they want an extra box, we do use the internal notes a lot, because then it means anybody in the office or anyone that uses it can see straight away what's happened. Yeah. And a lot of the time we were having problems where something might have been collected a couple of months ago and then there's a query, and it was really hard for us to go back. We'd have to go through folders of paperwork to see who collected it. Oh, do you remember this? It was 2 months ago, kind of. Whereas now with Wine Hub, we can just search for it, and if there was anything unusual, we just make a note, and then everybody can see it. The team at Wine Hub, they've been really great. Like the support system, we ring them and we're like, we need to be able to do this, and then they come back to us and say, right, okay, it's not kind of standard, but if you do it this and this way, then that's fine. And even like the warehouse management side of things, because we've got an in-bond warehouse. And what we were finding was if somebody cancelled an order, for example, after it had been finalised, it would go back into the duty paid warehouse, but that's actually never left our warehouse.
Yeah.
For other people, then yes, it would go into a duty paid area, but it goes back into the inbound. So they've found us workarounds for that. And most of our customers collect wine. So on the system, it's obviously delivered or shipped effectively, or shipped and delivered. Whereas we use that for kind of the order is ready and then it's collected. So we found our own little workarounds that work for us. But the team have been really good in helping us find ways that works, and then we can pass that on to the team. And it's that traceability, it's that transparency of the warehouse to the office without phone calls and marching around. So having that transparency from the account side of things without giving people full access to everything has been really useful as well.
Yeah.
So it's changed the way we do things. It's made everything a bit more streamlined. We started using Xero once we started the Wine Hub process. In general, Xero, it's a very straightforward system.
Yeah.
Having only ever used Sage here, it was quite an easy transition once you kind of get used to the basics, and it is a lot faster.
There's two parts to the next 5 years, red wine and wine tourism. So we'll be harvesting a new plantation of bigger bodied reds in the next 5 years. So that I'm very excited about. I think everyone's very excited about that here. So that adds another string to our bow. It makes our range of red wines bigger, which obviously means they have more, they're better established. And obviously this room has been built for a purpose, wine tourism, and working with the other Crouch Valley producers to offer more visitors. So yeah, this is the part I'm personally most excited about, is bringing people here, showcasing our wines and developing the tourism offering.